Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're going to be talking about something.
I'm
Yeah, I
excited
guess.
for this one.
Yeah, me too. This should be a fun one. So we're talking about Cameron Diaz, right?
Yeah, specifically her coming back to acting after, what was it, like almost a decade?
A full decade. Yep,
Yeah.
10 years. That's a long time to be away from, the spotlight, the whole Hollywood thing.
Exactly. I mean, think about it, at the top of her game. Just decides to step back. And you know what's interesting to me? It doesn't even sound like she was, like, trying to get away from all that. More like she just wanted to start something new.
Totally. And when I say she stepped back, she didn't just, take a little break. She went all in on family life. Married Benji Madden back in 2015, then daughter Radix in 2019, and then just last year, their son Cardinal.
Wow, 2024 already.
I know, right? Time flies. But it's not just family. I mean, she also started her own company, a wine company of all things.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. But I think what really got people talking, what really resonated, was that interview she did where she talked about spending those years just, and I'm quoting here, trying to stay alive just like every other mother.
I remember that. I
Ah,
felt that for sure.
right. And I think that's why it resonated so much. It just shows that no matter who you are, celebrity or not, parenthood is its own beast.
No kidding. But here's the thing that I find really interesting, and maybe you can shed some light on this. It's not like she was pushed out,
Mm.
right? She chose this. She made a conscious decision to put her family first. And I remember her talking about like reclaiming her own life.
Mm.
What do you think that looks like in practice? How did she actually do that?
Oh, well, I think it's a combination of things, right? I mean, she obviously stepped away from a super demanding career, created that space for her family to grow. And I think starting that wine company, that was also a part of it. Building something new on her own terms. So basically, it's like she kind of redesigned her whole life to match her new priorities.
Makes sense. It's you say it that way, it almost sounds like a trend, right? This whole unretire thing. Step back, recharge, come back swinging. You see it with athletes too, right?
Totally. Tom Brady comes to mind. And I think it's interesting because it kind of makes you question how we define success.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not just about constantly climbing that ladder. Maybe it's about taking a break, trying something new, coming back to what you were doing with a fresh perspective.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's got to be easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if you're Cameron Diaz or Tom Brady with all their resources. But for the rest of us, it's not quite that simple.
True, true. And I don't think the takeaway here is that everyone should just quit their jobs and start a winery. But it does make you think, right? Like, what are we really chasing after? And are we willing to maybe shake things up a little bit to get what truly matters?
Deep stuff. So, to our listeners out there, what are your thoughts? What stands out to you about Cameron Diaz's journey? And more importantly, what can we learn from her about, choosing our own path, even if it means stepping away from what we thought was the dream?
And here's something I want you all to think about. How can we each, in our own lives, reclaim our time and our energy? What small steps can we take today to put ourselves first, to make sure that what we're doing actually lines up with what we value?
Definitely something to think about. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned a thing or two. We'll see you next time.